a tragic accident. Like tragic accidents just happen all the time in Carroll County. I'm just saying. It's a very, very unlucky place to live. They dropped the charges because it was accidental. You don't accidentally run over somebody and back up and try to do it again. Let's start from the beginning as investigative reporters, right? So you would ask the questions who, what, where, when, and why. Should be easy, right? Of course it is. Yes, I know, you're innocent until proven guilty, but what good does that do you if you are not alive?
Oh, hello, my silky friends. And to my very, very shady enemies, hello to you too. Hope you're having a good evening. Tell me if that background noise is too loud. Hello, Hiawatha. I am going to answer that question. We're going to talk a lot about that question, as a matter of fact. Hello, Daniel Berry. I was going to say Danny Berry. It sounds, never mind. It sounds like I want to put it in a pie. Daniel. Sorry about that. Daniel Berry. Good to see you. Yeah, just let me know. I can hear the background music. Can y'all? This is like you don't hear anything. Alright. That's the thing. I want you to hear something. But I don't want it to be too loud for me. What about now? Just want a little bit in the background. Okay. It kind of drives me nuts, but it does add interest to the stream. Alright. So, you know what? I just had a thought. I'm playing a lot of stuff. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Alright. So, yeah, yesterday, I'm just gonna tell you, I'm feeling a little bit spicy today. And now it's loud. It's good now. Alright, thank you, Hiawatha. Let me see what the setting is so I'll know next time. Okay. Alright, we good. Yeah, so, yesterday I went to Nashville. And I woke up with a migraine, and that's why my stream was shorter. I just couldn't function anymore. Still have a migraine today, but not as bad. So I'm in my spicy mood. All right, just so you know. I'm gonna try to hold it down. But one of the reasons that I went, well, there were two reasons. One is to do like a preliminary look over for Matthew Parasini. And the other one is because y'all asked so many times about Smiley Face, okay? And I did a whole live on it, and I've still been studying it. Now, let me put up here, Hiawatha says, I personally think there's a sinister group of them, maybe in the collegiate atmosphere, who conspire to unalive these young men across the nation, mostly in college towns. Yeah. Okay, and that is why, sorry, Mythical, I'm trying to say hello. That's kind of why we're here, and that's the thing. All right. We have a lot of very, very similar circumstances with Riley. Most people in Nashville that I can tell do not think it's Smiley. And if you don't know, let me just go ahead and tell you. If you don't know what we're talking about in this stream, we're talking about Riley Strain, the Missouri State college student who disappeared March 8th, 2024, and they found him on the 22nd down the river, okay? We knew he was intoxicated, possibly a victim of Rohypnol, and we don't know, okay? There's a lot of stuff. And then the Smiley Face, SK. Smiley Face has the same target, okay? College students, usually those who have a business or technical, like a higher technical, I mean a technical degree, but yeah, so they're usually, what the police say is, oh, they had too much to drink, got too close to the river, fell in, and this has been happening since 1997 in multiple cities, okay? I named a few, but it's in over 25 cities, and so this is definitely has been a problem, and it seems like there may have been an increase. Hello, Dark Arts, how are you? Hello. So yeah, here's the thing. There is a lot going on in Nashville, okay? And we talked about last time how there seems to be, according to locals, there seems to be a nefarious relationship between bartenders, bouncers, and usually a young woman who is in a regular at a bar. And it's very easy for them to put something in a drink, roofie them, or the female can simply say, you know, oh, he offended me, he did something, he said something, and they kick the guy out. Now, this guy is usually very intoxicated or roofied, and so then he goes out to the street. Now, in Nashville, there seems to be a homeless element along with this, okay? So the problem is, I don't know. I understand that if you are intoxicated and you're walking along the river by the homeless camps, yes, would it be easy to rob you or something like that? Of course it would. I mean, you know. But what I don't understand is how that helps the bars, okay? And there has been a lot of suggestion that the police are involved as well, and the city doesn't want to acknowledge it, okay? They want to say this is an unfortunate accident that happened to this young man, because they don't want to say, hey, Nashville's dangerous, we roofie people. But my big thing, oh, thank you, Grizz. Thank you. Oh, look, hey, I have a brand new thing, y'all. Everybody thinks I'm leaving. I'm not going anywhere. It's just a thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Chris. But yeah, so we're talking about potential. It's a system, okay? Now here's the problem that I have with Smiley. Everyone, when we were down there about, 3 weeks or so ago, close to a month ago, I guess it was a month ago now, people kept asking us, in the chat, we kept saying, do you see any smiley faces? Do you see any smiley faces? Well, in my head, we were there was so much chat, and there was so much going on that in my head I was thinking happy face, and I'm like, oh, they caught that guy. What's that got to do? I was forgetting about Smiley. My question really for all of it is, though, it seems to be organized. Now, there are a couple of, we talked about this before, there are a couple of retired detectives who have been working this case for years, written several books about the smiley face theory. Because when these guys are found and fished out of the river, there's usually a smiley face, like graffiti. Now, they all look different, and this is one of the reasons that the police have debunked it and said, oh, this is not the same. Well, no, it's not the same, because in my opinion, it's not the same person. And smiley face is such a, I don't know, if I was going to do graffiti, I might make a smiley face. I don't know, a heart, a smile, I don't know. But, I don't graffiti, so there you go. But, hello, Poochie. How are you? Yeah, so, my question is, why? Why for all of it? Because if you're looking at, let's just take smiley face. If you're looking at just smiley face, then why are you, what's in it for them, okay? Is it a simple robbery? That seems, how much money does somebody actually have on them? I don't think anybody's getting rich off that. Is it out of, just the desire to unalive somebody? I don't know. I'm trying to look for a connection, because, what I always say about every case, follow the money, right? Follow the money, because that's where they're going. Because I've been listening to these detectives, and I see what they're saying. I just don't have a good motive. What they're saying that people are connecting through the dark web and all that kind of stuff, and making this, which of course you can on forums. You don't even have to be on the dark web. You can do it in forums if you use code words. So, I'm like, are they? But still, why? Dark arts. It could be building a mythos around the bar scene, so people probably want to go there, like haunted houses. I don't know. To me, that would keep me away. Yeah, Hiawatha, that would keep me away. Okay. It's not simple robbery, no credit cards used. I really believe this is some type of sick club. That is entirely possible. Grizz, no, they are not missing organs. That's the thing. You would kind of think there's a reason, right? There has to be a high dollar reason. That's where I keep coming to a standstill. I understand what these detectives are saying. Unless somebody is just that sick and mean that you want to target somebody, but why college students? It seems like, if they were holding them for ransom or something, you could kind of see that. Hello, Yoli, how are you? Good to see ya. See, I say the word, we bring up organs, and here comes Yoli. Yeah, here's the problem. There's no monetary interest. Exactly. So I'm at a loss. So anyway, when I went back yesterday, I decided I'm gonna look, okay? While I was looking and trying to do a preliminary what could have happened to Matthew, I thought, let me go over there, and I'm gonna do what you all asked us to do like weeks ago, and I am just gonna look everywhere for graffiti, because the smiley face usually appears at the place that they went in or where they were found in the river. But it doesn't have to be. It can be anywhere in the general area. So I took the before, right where we think that he potentially fell in and the after, okay? So, alright. So let me show you, and I'm sorry, this music is driving me out of my mind. I can't think. Like, I'm a one-track thinker. And I'm not using anything that I can't use that I have to cover up with music. So, there we go. Oh, my head can think now. Hello, Mother of Dragons. How are you? Good to see ya. Alright, so we're going to listen to, and just know that I have cut the pauses, the long pauses out of this. This is the only editing I have done. But back to Riley, we're going to listen to the 911 call, because at the time that this was done, it was long after Riley had disappeared. There's a lot of speculation with the fraternity, okay? If you've studied a lot of these unalivings in different cases, you can come back to some fraternity BS, okay? So, I'm not discounting that, but is it in every Smiley case? Is it actually in Riley's? Yes, there's a lot of questions. I question those fraternity brothers a lot. But, it doesn't mean they did it, okay? Just means maybe they didn't make good decisions. Alright, let's go to this.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Hi, I don't have an address. I'm trying to file a missing persons report, and the Central Police is closed, and the Sheriff's Office said that we couldn't do it there.
Okay, so where exactly are you now?
We're in front of the Central Police, how do you say that? Precinct? How do you say that? Precinct. The Central Police Precinct on...
Okay, there, 601 Korean Veterans Boulevard and downtown Nashville, right across from the Music City Center?
Yeah.
Okay, and is that where you're able to wait for a police officer to come and speak to you?
Yeah, we can wait for an officer here.
Okay, what's the phone number you're calling from?
Of my phone?
Yes, in case we needed to reach you back, what is the best number to reach you at? And what is your name, sir?
Brayden, Brayden.
And your last name?
Baltz.
Okay. And who is it that you're wanting to report as missing?
We're here on a fraternity formal trip. It's one of my good buddies.
Okay. What is his name?
His name is Riley Strain. Riley, Riley, Strain, Strain.
Okay. Is he white, black, Hispanic, Asian?
He's white. 22-year-old, 6'5", blonde.
Okay. And what was he last seen wearing?
Outside of Luke Bryan's bar last night at like 10, and then the last time his location on his phone was by the sheriff's office at like 11 p.m.
Okay, and what color clothing was he last seen wearing?
Let me just add this. Did you hear what he said? He said 11. So I don't know if that is a mistake, or because they said that his phone turned off at 9:53. That was the last time, according to Life 360. If y'all don't use that app, let me just tell you. If you have family members, kids, whatever, use Life 360. Even if you're just keeping up with a friend while they're on vacay. But, yeah, I thought, I was listening to someone today that explained that it could have been, a misunderstanding looking at Snapchat, but I thought it was interesting that he seemed pretty confident that the last they actually heard from Riley was 11.
He's wearing jeans, boots, and a half black shirt, half brown, light brown.
Okay, and you said it last showed outside the sheriff's department?
Like around that area by the river, by the sheriff's department over there.
Okay. Does he have any life-sustaining medications or disabilities?
No.
And what is, you said he has a phone, so it's a cell phone, right?
Yeah, it's an iPhone 15 Pro Max.
What is the number?
But it's hold on. Give me 1 second. I got you.
Sure.
All right, you ready?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
You said the last four were 4198?
Yes.
Okay. And are you going to be waiting there at the door of the precinct, or are you going to be waiting in your car?
I mean, yeah, we're at the front door of the precinct.
Okay. I've got the call sent there at the Central Precinct, 601 Korean Veterans Boulevard in downtown, right across from Music City Center. We'll get an officer out to you as soon as we can. Please call us back if something changes before they arrive. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay. Like I say, just call us back if something changes before they arrive.
That's fine.
All right.
We'll be here.
You.
Okay. So what did y'all think about that? Now remember that they did not they did not go to the police precinct until the next afternoon, okay? So they came in the wee hours of the morning. They knew that Riley wasn't there. I don't know what they thought. I don't know how intoxicated they were, but they did not until they woke up the next day. Now, they said, according to an interview I saw, I'm trying to think if it was with the parents. Anyway, they had made the statement that they could not file the report that night because the police precinct was closed. I don't know how the police are ever closed. Now, you could, if there wasn't an office open, which I still highly doubt in Nashville, but even if you couldn't, you could at least call the police and make a report. They come to you, right? I had to make a police report last year over something that somebody did in my yard, and I just called. They sent an officer out, and I made the report. So, yeah, that was I had not heard it before, and I thought, one of the things, if you notice, and I can't remember what the timestamp is, but when the police officer asks him, who is missing, he's like, oh, it's a good friend of mine, a frat brother, whatever. Like, why did you say that before saying the name? Because to me, I listen to semantics, the way people say stuff. It seems like you're trying to make someone feel a certain way before you even give the name. If somebody was asking me, I would say, oh, Betty Smith, that's the name. And we were down here on vacation, blah, 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 blah. But I would answer the question first. But that's just me. I don't know. There might be too much to read into that. That's just something that bothered me. Yeah, I hate when they ask your number and it's right in front of them. Yeah, right. Yeah, the parents are very not happy. And I heard today also that the frat brothers were told not to do interviews, not to answer questions, and they did lawyer up. Which, I really can't blame them on one hand because, geez, you're in a situation, they're going to be looking at you. So, I mean, it's probably, I'm not going to say that there's anything nefarious about that. All right. So, yeah, so anyway, back to the Smiley. This is what we walked everywhere. Like, I walked way down the other side. I mean, you can see all that, craziness walking and walking and walking yesterday. One of the things that I did look for, and yeah, if you watch that live, sorry for the audio. I have no idea, like, why. There's something in the air in Nashville. It's hard to stream. Your stream will go out, which is also what I wondered about Riley's phone. Like, did something, ever since the first day I went to Nashville, my iPhone, that never has had a problem, never has had a virus, anything like that, my iPhone has not worked right since. And I mean, I did drop it a couple of times, true. But but it has a very protective case, and I don't think, I mean, I've dropped it so many times and it never has a problem. But my phone just does weird things. Not quite like it has a virus, it's just like it doesn't quite work right. And I can pinpoint it exactly to Nashville. So, we have a lot of trouble with StreamYard down there too, going out. And I'm like, why? Why? It's such a big city. There's towers everywhere. You should not. I have less problem in my rural area with StreamYard than I do in Nashville. So, yeah, sorry for the audio. It would come and go yesterday. I don't know what was up with that. But I wanted to see all 4 of the bars that Riley went to. Whoa, I got some crazy hair going on here. But they're much closer. The thing is I thought they were blocks, like a lot of blocks or a bigger distance apart. No, they're all right there. And here's the other thing about Riley. We know that at Loop 32's, he had a beer and 2 waters. Now, anybody who's going to do a pub crawl knows that if you want to be able to go to multiple bars and drink, you are going to have, it's usually at least 1 water for every drink. I don't know if he didn't have a water somewhere or whatever. He had 2 waters there. So even if he had been roofied, you would think that it definitely would take longer to hit his system. First of all, he was a bigger guy. He was 6'6". He was thin, but he was still a big human. And I just wonder, if he drank water at all of the bars, he should not have been that intoxicated. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but I do know that is what happened there. Let's see, Yoli. The frat has frat attorneys. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they were told to stay silent just so the frat doesn't, get a bad reputation. Because we all know what that's all about. So anyway, I walked to see how long, like, it takes no time. Even if you watch this, we got turned around. But it takes no time. All right, so he left the bar at around 9:36. By 9:53, his phone was off. That's 20 minutes. It doesn't take very long to walk where he walked from Loop 32's to over there on Gay Street. Here's something else I want to look at. Let me see. I meant to upload this. I think this is very odd, and I might get struck for this. I don't know, because this does have another thing on it. But I want to see if you can hear what I hear on this. And I know you've seen the body cam footage a lot. But look at it again. Sorry, we got a commercial here.
We have brand new video just into us now. This is from the police in Nashville on the night that Riley...
Let me get this on past here.
one. It's very cordial. That's Riley Strain right there. They seem visibly intoxicated, or certainly
Okay. They're going to talk through this whole thing.
Here's that surveillance video. He can't even keep his head up straight. So I don't know if it was the...
I may have to drag this in another time, but at this, let me get rid of this. At the time that the police officer turns around and he says hello to Riley, you hear another voice. It sounds like it's coming out to the right. You can't really understand what it's saying, but you know it's not the policeman. It's not Riley. It's somebody else. Now, there are a lot of homeless there, but why are they joining in on this conversation? I wish I could find it. I watched it today on YouTube without all that garbage on there. Let me see. No, I can't find it. Anyway, the homeless guy that they finally found that says that, he says, again, do I believe this is true? I don't know. Okay, I just don't know. I'm not sure what is the motivation, all right? I'm not saying homeless people are bad because they're homeless. I'm like, but how motivated are you to, help the police? I don't know. But he says that he saw Riley walk on past where they're staying, and right there at the bridge, there was some kind of commotion. Again, the policeman is right there, and if you see how close it is, like where the policeman was looking at, unless he literally jumped in his car and sped away, he would have been there when this commotion was going on. So the homeless guy says that, and I think they said his name is Ross. Ross, although I heard another name on that too. But Ross said he heard a commotion, and, somebody asked if, he was like, hey, are you okay? And someone else answers and says, yeah, he's just drunk. So that leads me to wonder, who was this other person? Was that the person who talks in the police cam video that you can just hear a little bit of? Was it someone who was following Riley? Was it another homeless person? But why? I mean, it sounded like if you answer for someone like that, it makes you think maybe there was someone else on that street. It's just a thought. Let's see here. I noticed just how close the cop was to the bridge. Yeah, I mean, look, it's not, I don't know, there's so much video that we have from going up and down that street, but it's not far. It's really just I don't know, I'm guesstimating maybe 50 feet. Maybe not even that much, okay? It's right there. And the only place that Riley could have gone in is where the fence opens. And it's even closer to the bridge. So, either he kept going after the commotion, because again, if somebody falls down the hill, you're going to hear some yelling, some trees breaking or whatever. Was that the commotion? I don't think so. But that's just my opinion. Also, the fact, there's a lot of things we're not going to know until the autopsy. And that's just the results, the toxicology. Someone had asked me how long it's going to be, and it's going to be probably a couple more weeks. When I talked to a friend of the family a few days ago, he said, really, the only thing they can do is hope for a break in the case by, maybe one of the homeless people want to, say what happened or give more information, and the toxicology. Now, if we're talking about Smiley Face, all right, and I'm going to show you some pictures, and some video of what was captured, what I captured yesterday, and what we captured a few weeks ago. If we're talking Smiley, in a lot of those cases, the young guys that were found in the river were not actually unalived on the day that they went missing. In some cases, in one case, it was like 2 months. Can you imagine? 2 months. 77 days. And the decomp was not there for 77 days. It maybe just a couple days. There have been a lot of people who were had ligature marks. Some around the neck, some around the wrists. And so it's been hypothesized that these victims, at least of Smiley, are abducted and taken somewhere, held. We don't know what happens to them. But they're held and then eventually unalived and thrown in the river. So, that's, hello, Lucia. Yeah, so that's what we're looking at Smiley Face. And until we have the autopsy that says the time of death, like I said before, we're not going to know whether Riley went into the water on March 8th. What I do know, now here's where it differs from Riley to Smiley Face. I hate that rhymes. Is that Smiley Face victims are found with their clothes on. Riley was not. He had his shirt, but his pants and his boots were missing. And I heard a friend of the family say that the boots were snug. It's not that they were too small for him, but they were not bigger. Like, they weren't a size bigger or whatever. They weren't loose. They were very snug. And you're not going to get snug boots off from water. It's not going to happen that way. And also, he had a belt on. I'm sure y'all know that. Blue jeans, not the easiest things to get off in the water. But also, he was belted all the time. So it would appear, based on that he was maybe robbed. But then you can't necessarily say that, because if he was held, and that's the thing. When you watch this video of the police cam, the policeman is, I don't even know what he's doing. Like, honestly, it looks kind of sus to me, because he's walking, he catches Riley, he's facing Riley, he's looking at these cars. He says there's, he got something about a potential break-in, but none of the cars he's looking at have any damage that I can see. There's no broken windows, but that's his story. And so he's facing that way. Then Riley comes to his left. He turns his body. Okay, not just. This is what I think is odd as well. I'm gonna see if I can find that video. It's driving me nuts now. I don't want anybody talking on it. Give me just a second. Because I found it, let's see. It was from, let's see, let me look up Nashville Metro. Okay. Where is it? Like, it should be one of the first things that come up. This is crazy. Alright. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna have to grab it from somebody else. When you watch the body cam, the officer, okay, now remember the body cams are like right through here, right? They're kind of in the center. If I'm walking, think about it. I'm walking along and I'm looking at cars and I'm looking in the windows. I didn't see a flashlight. I really didn't see the policeman with a flashlight. You would think you would need a flashlight, right? to shine into the cars, see if somebody's in a car. Did they break in a car? Is there somebody hiding out there? What are you doing? You're just walking around there looking at cars. But then when he says hello to Riley, his whole body turns to his left. That is what catches Riley. Now, if I am a police officer, all right, and I'm walking this way, somebody is coming this way, on the sidewalk to my left, I'm going to turn my neck. If I just want to greet somebody, hey, how you doing? That's normal. Why are you going to turn your whole body that direction? Why not, as you're looking at stuff, just look over your shoulder and you say, hey, buddy, how you doing? Whatever. Does that seem odd? But it's like he deliberately got Riley on his body cam to show something, to show his presence at a certain time. Makes me wonder if those body cams are live. Are they live or are they just recorded? Does anybody know? Hello, Four Pits. Good to see ya. Okay, so, I'm just saying, working with officers and stuff, I didn't see a reason for this one to turn his whole body around. Now, he turned his body, he goes back, and there's about 19 seconds as he's walking up the street with these cars that before he turns back around. When he turns all the way back around, his body cam should show Riley at the bridge, especially if Riley got sick there, like they said, and he was... I heard no commotion. I heard no other voices, which is weird because you hear a voice earlier off to what sounds like the right, but you don't hear anything on that body cam, and you don't see Riley. Now, it's not very far, and Riley is a tall person, probably takes big steps. Maybe he took off running again. I don't know. But he didn't seem like that was something he was going to do. I mean, he was kind of just, walking on a slower pace along. I mean, he's literally not there within just a few seconds. So where did he go? Was there somebody else there? People have speculated that somebody in a car picked him up. But you don't hear any voices saying, hey, do you need a ride? That kind of thing. So I'm not sure about that. Anyway, when I watched the police cam, body cam, I have more questions. A big one, why no flashlight? Why'd you turn all the way to the left? Like you wanted to get him on camera? Because, if you're thinking that someone looks suspicious, and maybe, okay, just maybe, he did. Maybe he thought, what's this guy doing down here by himself at night? Is he the one breaking in cars? Well, clearly, he probably wasn't, because you saw him coming down the street. You can see a long way down that street. If you're an officer, you're observant, so he would have seen him at least from the first bridge to the second one. He would have seen him at a distance, maybe stumbling, whatever. I don't know. It just seems odd to me. Okay, Mother of Dragons, his cause of death was drowning. There is no water in the lungs. Now, something, we looked at this before, the percentage. There's only 10 to 15% of people who dry drown. It's possible when you're intoxicated, what happens is your throat, to make it easier to understand, it's a laryngeal spasm, but basically your throat closes to keep water out. Usually people do it when they're scared, sometimes when they're intoxicated. But what I found interesting with further research is that this happens a lot in the grand scheme of things, of reasons you dry drown, is when you are resisting. If someone is holding your head under the water or dunking your head under the water, there is a bigger chance that you are going to drown. I'm sorry. Hold on just a second. Cat. That's what it always is. You can hear she's running around here like crazy. The animals, they go nuts when I go live. Stop, baby. Anyway, yeah, so I found that very interesting. The biggest cause of dry drowning is resisting drowning by someone trying to unalive you. Does that bother anybody else? It makes you wonder, of course. You know, and I'm just thinking about like I'm thinking about a hypothetical. If you're homeless, first of all, I can see taking the phone. There are so many clothes down there. There are nice clothes down there. I do not know what happens. I guess, I don't know if they're donations. I don't know. But I spent a lot of time looking over that wall and looking at different places and places that you could go into where the levels go down where you can go into the homeless camps. There are nice clothes spread out everywhere. Pants, hoodies, shirts, all kind of stuff. I don't think there's the motive, a nice pair of boots, size 15, not everybody can wear those, jeans, boots maybe, cell phone, maybe. You might, even if you're gonna rob somebody, I don't see, hello honey bun, I don't see the point in unaliving them, okay? Think about it. First of all, if you end up with a body there, what do you want? Your motive is not really to do that. If you want to steal their stuff, fine. Mug them. Take their stuff. Send them on their way, especially when they're intoxicated. How are they going to identify you? He was obviously intoxicated with something. So how are you going to ID a homeless person and you're intoxicated? Not going to happen. The police probably aren't going to mess with it. They're probably going to say, oh, it could have been anybody. It doesn't make logical sense that you are going to go to that extreme to harm someone just because you want their cell phone. Now, could it have been accidental? Maybe you shove them, they fall. The autopsy preliminary that we know of does not talk about any abrasions, bruises, cuts, all that kind of stuff. Now, if we ever can see the actual report, maybe it will. But the preliminary from what the police said is no foul play, no signs of injury, that kind of stuff. Well, you can't fall down there. Even if it was 100% an accident, you can't fall down there. First of all, you can't fall in the water. Secondly, you can't fall down there without having some really serious damage, okay? So it's bizarre. Well, Mother of Dragons, there was a report that somebody said a friend was wearing it. See, here's where we get to, what, are they going to tell the truth? In the very beginning, before his body was found, they said, oh yeah, one of the homeless said, I saw a guy wearing his shirt. But when they found him, his shirt was on. It was one of the few things that he had on. And it was, yes, very distinctive shirt. So, and that's why there is some additional, and I looked at this video, it's 2 hours long. I looked at this video today from the Birch Building, which is the correctional center that's just past, like right there at that bridge where they say Riley fell. There's cameras all over it. And the one camera that they had the 2 hour video of was facing the bridge. Now, I know there's others on that building facing different directions. It's a correctional facility. I work in a correctional facility. Guess what? There's cameras every which direction you can imagine. You know 100% what is going on outside of your building. So this one cam, like, why not release the rest of them? There are some sketchy people, and if you want to look, I mean, there's Facebook groups that talk about this, but the only people that I saw, the one guy that I thought could be tall enough to be Riley looked like he was wearing a white hoodie. It was definitely not a black and white shirt, and it had long sleeves. So, that's the thing. Hello, Carl. Strange to me, someone claimed to be wearing shirt, but pants are actually missing. Yeah, right. So it's like, okay, probably, honestly, the homeless down there may be the biggest witnesses, but you already have issues. Again, if they said that there was a commotion and somebody said, it's okay, he's just drunk, who was that person? That's what I want to know. And how did he disappear so quickly? So quickly. The cam that is, there's not one. Now, I'm not going to say there's not one. There's not video that we have seen from the Birch building, which is the correctional center, right on that bridge, like under the bridge. I know it exists. But it also makes me wonder, there's a lot that I wonder, but there are, that video that has kind of the sideways view, there's a big rock wall that goes a long way down. You can see people along that wall. Like, you can tell that there are people there. What you can't tell is, you can't identify them. You can't see what they're wearing and stuff like that. There's some, like, shadowy figures. Could Riley have gone down there, gotten through to that wall? I mean, potentially, because it's so grainy you really can't see it from the camera they released. How often does the footage in the jail you work in come up missing for trials? I don't think it does. Not that I know of. I mean, they keep that on, I don't know how long they keep it, but they certainly keep it long enough. Unlike Delphi, who likes to erase theirs. Yeah. Doesn't happen. As a matter of fact, we have incidents, okay? We have incidences all the time. Some are hilarious. Some are horrible, like what happens. Most of them, it's just funny. You see something going on, and I mean, I could be gone for days. And when I come in, they're like, this and this happened. They're like, hey, let me show you. They roll back the cameras just so we can look at it and go, oh my God. It's not where people get hurt and stuff like that. But we have stuff, like, we can look way back. You just have to know the date. Okay, what date and time did this happen? A long time. That's all I can say. A long, long time. We kind of have a playlist. Oh, remember when so-and-so did that? Yeah. Have you seen the video? No. Let me show it to you. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I did not either, Mother Dragons. I didn't know they had such a huge, population. You know what, though? I don't know if I uploaded that or not. Let me see. I'll look for it in just a second. I think I've got another, at the end of this, I'll show you how big. I didn't even know how big the homeless camp was. I really kind of thought it was in one side. No, it's everywhere. And yesterday when I was in Nashville, even it's a good distance off, even at the Greyhound station and all the blocks around there, you just see homeless. They're just there. They're just sitting on the streets, whatever. And as you're in the downtown area, certainly there are places that you don't see any, but they tend to be all over the place. A few blocks from the river. It's crazy. Okay, so the question was, did we see a smiley face? Okay. Well, I didn't think so. Okay, when we were down there a month ago, my answer would have been no. But I'm going to show you this because, let me go back to this one. This is what we saw a month ago. All right, we passed this a lot. We did look at the door, and I don't know. There was, first of all, I guess I was thinking that the smiley face would have to have a circle around it. They don't. All right, sometimes they do. And this is in the, the SK case. Sometimes they have a circle, sometimes it's just the face, and sometimes they even have horns. It's some variation of a smiley face. Now, that's what we saw as we walked around. I didn't think a whole lot of it. Now, look at this. Take just a second and tell me what you see. And I'm gonna change this. This is when I was looking at it yesterday.
Before, I didn't see a smiley. What do y'all think? Hello, honey bun. Do you see what I'm saying? I can't blow this up anymore. When I get home, I can. That would be, yeah. What do y'all think? Because the smiley, this is why they say, people who debunk smiley say that the smiley faces aren't the same. Well, no, they're not. And most of them, like, they don't have the circle, I think. It's just like the eyes and the mouth. But here's the thing. I don't think they're the same person. My theories on that go up to something more organized, okay?
Alright, so I'm going to go back to this picture. Now, when I looked at it yesterday, I really, really scrutinized it, okay? Because I didn't, okay, I don't know if you can y'all see my cursor? Alright, if you look, I think when I passed this before, last month, and the reason I had to go back to a video and take a picture from last month is I needed to know, was it there when Riley was found, or did it appear since? And you can see it's on both. Let me go back to this one. It's harder to see. We're a little sideways. I don't know if you can see my cursor. There's a dot. There's a dot at the top of the sign, and then you see a distinct semicircle at the bottom. Now, that was last month. I honestly don't know how I missed that. I think that I thought those two black things were tape, like dirty tape. But when I looked at the video and I was standing there with my eyeballs looking at the sign yesterday, that sign is screwed in the door. So it's not taped up, okay? It's not like, it's duct tape or something. It's screwed into the door. So there's no need for any tape up there. And as I looked at it, I was like, that is not what I thought it was. And then I saw, if you can see my cursor, there's an eyeball, here is the smile. Now my question is, how long has it been there? Has it been there for many months before Riley disappeared? I don't know. Even Officer Colt, he suggested, which I don't think that's what this okay is, but if you did okay and you ran an eyeball into it, there is a curve at the bottom, but I don't think that's it. I think it's up here in the black. I don't think I can make this any bigger. All right, let me see what you're saying. What's the deal with it? Okay. I will be right with you, Alan. Let me see what you're saying. Hiawatha says definitely. Kelly says could be. Alan, have you seen what I'm saying yet? The 2 dots where it says no trespassing. There's two black dots on the top of that sign, and then a semicircle on the bottom. Other Dragon sees it. Yes, Kelly, this is Nashville. Okay, you can't see my cursor. I hate that. But yeah, does everybody see what I'm saying? Let me go back to this video. Let me go all the way back here.
What do y'all think? Hello, honey bun.
Does it look? Can you see it at a distance?
Do you see what I'm saying? I can't blow this up anymore. When I get home, I can. That would be. Yeah. What do y'all think? Because the Smiley, this is why they say people who debunk Smiley say that the Smiley faces aren't the same. Well, no, they're not. And most of them, like, they don't have the circle, I think. It's just like the eyes and the mouth. But here's the thing.
Okay, so you see what I'm saying? I did not. Honestly, I did not take that as a smiley face. I did not see any others. I didn't see any others anywhere. All I saw was that. But as I looked at it and saw that it was distinctly painted on the corners, like, what reason would you do that? I mean, to me, that is a smiley face. Is it? Has it been there? How long has it been there? All I can tell you is it was there when they found Riley. Now, the other thing about this is that it is right. It is close to the bridge. I mean, it's not close like the police officer was close, but when you go past, if you look at some of the video, even some of the stuff I did yesterday, you see a long rock wall. Now, the correction center is on the left. It's across the street. And right there at that corner, where the corner of the building is, across the street against the river, that rock wall goes all the way down. Now, where that rock wall ends, there is an abandoned building. That's what you were just looking at. That is the door to the abandoned building, and you can see the whole video. Yesterday, it's about 1 hour and 26 minutes in, somewhere around there, is where I stopped and looked at the door. But it's not impossible to get to the door, but it's not going to be pretty. Okay, there's a higher fence there. It's got the little pointed barbed wire at the top. It's, you'd have to be very motivated to get over there and paint a smiley face on there. So yeah, like, I don't know. This just convolutes everything, because up till yesterday, I would have said this has nothing to do with Smiley, even though the profile is the same. Exactly the same. I would still say I don't think it is a Smiley. The only thing is, when I went back and I saw that, I was like, oh God, maybe it is. Maybe it is. I really want to know how long it's been there. Let's see. Are you not seeing it? Okay. Hiawatha, are you seeing it now? There's a black dot on the left and a black dot on the right in a semicircle. Alan, I do think it is. I mean, obviously the X and the 22. I think that's the 22. I think it is. That is a gang marking. But then again, why the smiley face? That's not a gang symbol. Why do you put a smiley face there? It bothered me more to say there is one than it would have been to say no, there's not. I went there thinking I would not find anything. And it really kind of made me mad because I was like, you know how many days I spent over there? My God, up and down that street, past that building a million times, even specifically looked at it, again, looked at it last month, just like this. Didn't see a thing. I don't know what I thought that was, just some kind of craziness, gang sign at the beginning. Did not see it until yesterday. So then that just opens up the whole door. Is it? Well, the only way that we are gonna know, unfortunately, is if there's another victim. Somebody else turns up. I don't know. It bothered me, though, because that means whatever is going on in Nashville between, if it's true, and I don't really doubt that it is true, I've heard it too many times, between the bartenders, the bouncers, the females. We talked about that in the last live I did on this. There's some kind of system getting people out of the bars onto the streets. I just don't see a real big money motive, okay? That is my problem. I don't see the money motive. And I'm sure there's got to be one. I just don't know what it is, unless, I don't know. What are your suggestions? I mean, everything I watch now, albeit I have not read the Smiley Face book, but again, when people do a synopsis of it, they're like, okay, this is organized crime. They communicate, they pick, cities, whatever. But why? The biggest motivator for any kind of crime, even an unaliving, unless you just really, really hate somebody that bad, most of the time you're going to find a money angle. Even in divorce cases, when people get divorced and then one of the spouses, they're going through the divorce, one of them ends up, then it's like, but there's usually a reason. They didn't want to pay alimony. They were going to get half the estate, whatever. There's always a money motive in there. And I just don't see it. Did I see any cowboy boots? No, I did not. And I did look. There wasn't as many people. I will say this. What I found interesting yesterday, and I don't think it was just because it was cold. It was very chilly yesterday. But it was chilly last month. It was chillier. Like the highs were much colder in the day, and it's cold on the river. But back in March, we saw a lot of people, a lot of homeless, a lot of people in general riding scooters, all kind of stuff. There was always something going on the street. We did see some bicyclists, some runners, some scooters, but comparatively to last month, definitely not the homeless population out there that were walking up and down the streets and sitting in the benches and stuff. They weren't as present. It was way quieter yesterday than it was last month. So, again, that was a big change. Did I say hello, Balance Jade? It's good to see ya. I don't know. Is it certainly some people do feel that way, Linda Kay. They do things for that reason. But if you're talking about, if that is a smiley face, and it does look like one, again, if it's been there for 6 months, unless there's somebody else missing that was found in the river that we don't know about, actually a lot of people go missing from Nashville, interestingly enough. Unless there was something in there that happened earlier. But could somebody go into the river or in that area where the smiley face is? Absolutely. 100%. Well, not directly into the river, but could someone be pushed, fall, pushed, whatever, in that spot? Absolutely. No doubt. Even if it was up just a little bit, they could definitely meet their demise there. So yeah, I was, gosh, I was really, I was kind of bummed, really. We walked everywhere. We walked way down, way up by your tempo. I never saw any other signs. I saw just minimal graffiti, really. Not what you'd think. Nothing else. No other smiley faces. Nothing else that looked like anything but names. It could be gang related. Not well versed in that. Certainly nothing else. Like, I don't know. If you're gonna just if you like to graffiti smiley faces, wouldn't you do it somewhere else too? You know, like, oh, I'm gonna draw a happy face here and then a happy face there, and I don't know. It's just odd. If it had been somewhere else, not by the river, which isn't 100%, because like I said, in a lot of these cases, it is in the area. But it is definitely very close to or at the area. Yes, Yoli, it did. It did say, okay, let me show it to you again, though. Okay, this is last month. I didn't see anything. Didn't see anything in here. But it's obviously the same. It hasn't changed. Now, can you see where it says no trespassing? And this is abandoned. There's fence around it. It is very dangerous. It's messed up building. 2 dots above the no trespassing and a semicircle at the bottom. What I didn't see until I was really scrutinizing it, I guess. Maybe it's that we see what we want to see, and last month I didn't want to see it. Well, I actually didn't want to see it yesterday either. I just wanted to prove that it wasn't there. But I can't. That's the thing. Now, I can't prove that it's not there unless somebody can show me video that somebody took 6 months ago or whatever, that it was already there. I don't know. So, how many people see that? And okay, I know, like, brilliant minds have been putting themselves together on Smiley. Okay, you know what? Sorry, I just had to ban somebody. Sorry. If you didn't, look, I'm just telling you, if you didn't mean that maliciously, it was very crude. And that is not something that I want in here. Okay. So Carl sees it. Paul sees it. So, I mean, like, help me think. Okay, because we've got 2 retired detectives that are given the reason for Smiley Face, the MO, college student, successful, some kind of like business degree or some kind of high-tech degree, something like that. Somebody who's above average intelligence, usually somewhere between the age of 18 to 26. They drink too much, supposedly. Although some of the smiley face people have zero alcohol, zero substances in their system, for sure, if they were not put in the river. Anyway, the story is from the police in these multiple cities is they were intoxicated, they got too close to the river, they fell in, it was a horrible accident. Now, these detectives say it's organized. Yeah, I'm sure you can find a lot of sickos that just want to do stuff. I just don't see somebody risking all over the place for that. And they say it's organized, but I don't understand. And nobody has been able to understand. Hello, Linda Kay. Did I say hello to you? I can't even remember. My head hurts. I don't see the reason for it. I don't even see the reason for a homeless attack that would result in unaliving unless it was accidental. Like, they were trying to rob him. And anyway, it just, yeah, I don't either, Mother of Dragons. I don't see the reason for it to be organized. But people who have studied this, and I mean award-winning, I'm not talking about, hey, look, y'all Delphi people, I'm not talking about Tobe and Tony investigating something, okay? I'm talking about people who are decorated from big cities who have, like, brilliant minds have put together the smiley face theory. I just don't understand. Yeah, you're right, 4 pits. $5 is $5 when you're hungry. Absolutely. It just doesn't seem like they'd take it to that extreme. I mean, you can, somebody who's that intoxicated falling down, and then again, I'm looking at the police cam video where I hear another voice, and I'm questioning why the policeman is moving the way he is. Again, why not talk over your shoulder? It seems strange. I know there's a lot of things. There's a lot of people who say that the crime in, and this is not me saying, it is allegedly that the police are in on a lot of the crimes. And I mean, you know, that's not unheard of anywhere, okay? But anyway, has anyone done a profile on Smiley? Yes. I mean, well, not on Smiley because that's the problem. It's more than one person. It started in 1997, still continuing in 2024. They don't think it's the same person. Thus, the smiley faces are drawn by different people. They look different. And they didn't even really put the smiley together. It was like years after the first few unalivings where they were seeing the pattern. It was investigating all over these, different cities. They started realizing, hey, there's a smiley face. And then they went back, but they could only go back so far because, it's going to change. It's going to change quick. So they couldn't verify the first few ones because nobody was looking for that. But yeah. So anyway, I am going to leave this with you. Let you think about it. I did look at, let me see if I can pull this up. I did look, and here is, let me see if I can find this for you. I was looking at the homeless camps yesterday, and I don't have it on here. What I did find as we walked down the other way, because we went looking for Matthew Parasini, does not fit the profile, okay? He is older. He did not have a cell phone. He didn't really have anything. He disappeared from the bus station, got off the bus to use the bathroom or something, and has not been seen since March 30th. But could he have ended up in a homeless camp? Possibly. What we did see when we walked way down, way down. Actually, I drove and then still walked way down. You can see there's a whole other encampment, and then there's this whole like abandoned building that has graffiti all over it. It's out in kind of a clearing, and it's got all these tents also on the outside in the parking lot. It's like there's a whole community right there. I don't know how those differ from the ones who are kind of by themselves all along the banks. But it's definitely a bigger problem than I think people realize. All right. Yes, there were 2 detectives on. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. This is what they came up with, but I still am not satisfied with it's organized. Yeah. Is it organized? Probably, yeah. I mean, it's got every earmark, but I can't find the motive. What do y'all think is the motive? Because that is what stumps me. Especially when you're profiling a young college student. Unless the only thing that I can see is that we know so many of them were taken, held, sometimes not very long, because one victim was found 3 days after he disappeared. That was like the shortest one, I think. So what happened? Did he resist? Did something happen really quickly? Unfortunate that they didn't mean to. Unless they are kidnapping these people, holding them, doing God knows what with them, and then ending it. I mean, I go down that, oh my God, if I go down that train of thought, it's so bad. It's so bad. But they're always guys. I mean, women, we're targeted a lot for different things, but I've noticed recently there's a whole lot of men missing, young men, all over the place. And that's very disturbing to me. Yeah, so, you're right. There are a lot of things on Smiley Face on YouTube. Yeah, actually, the Ladybird Lake in Texas, that is the same thing they're saying about Ladybird. They think there's an SK over there, but it's the same profile. Young, college student, drinks too much, goes close to the river. Even people who are terrified of water, that's the thing. Some of these people, their families say they would never go by water. Yeah, it could be. It could be Linda Kay. Yeah, it's just the disturbing part to me is if they're held. And that's something else, We'll know when the autopsy, and I heard today it could be up to 3 months before the talks. Oh my God, I just can't. I can't with this. But if the time of death does not match the decomp, or the time of death that they say on the 8th does not match the decomp, then at that point, 2 things. I would definitely say we've got a Smiley based on the MO, based on the profile of the victim, and based on a potential Smiley face. I'd say, yeah, there's a good chance that it's starting in Nashville. The other thing that is, if we have more people, and sometimes it's a long time apart. Sometimes it happens quickly. Sometimes it's a long time apart. What I did notice about a lot of these cities and Smiley Face things is that when it starts in a new city, it usually starts the beginning part of the year, like first quarter, anyway. Starts early in the year, and then keeps going. Sometimes there's months in between. Sometimes I think the longest they said was like 15 months. But then sometimes the bodies just tend to pile up. So I don't want to see that. I guess that's what I'm saying. Awareness. Talk about it. Show it. Share it. Tell people, especially if you live in the area. Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, wherever, Arkansas, wherever is close, and people go into Nashville, it's something that you need to know, all right? And y'all, use Life 360. It's a free app. I'm not getting paid to say this. If y'all don't know about Life 360, you have somebody that you love, get the app. Keep up with them, okay? Because you never know. It tells you everything. It even tells you when their phone needs charged, which is really important for me to know with my people. Like, hey, then I send you can send like a little notification on the app saying, hey, charge your phone. Because sometimes they're not thinking. All right. Here's what I'm going to say. If you don't know about Smiley Face, and what are your thoughts? I'm going to ask you, maybe think about it if you watch documentaries. I think, was it Netflix that had one? I haven't watched it. Yeah. Think about, what do you think? I'd like to hear in your comments. After you've had time to think about it, look at that. Decide whether that's a smiley face or not. Give me your thoughts on motive in the comments. Why do you think that people are targeting these young men? Anyway, let me see. Let me tell you a little bit before I leave, because I'm going to keep this one shorter. Again, I still have a headache. Oh, that's true. That's true. That is a thought. I had that thought earlier, but I didn't want to think that thought. Roofies don't stay in the system long. No, they don't. And also, if you're held, the alcohol is probably not going to show up either. Yes, Hiawatha, they did. Nashville police did one, and the family turned around and had another one done. So what does that tell you? That tells you they don't believe. First of all, if you didn't know, before they ever had a body, the police said no foul play. We have no reason to believe it's foul play, really? You don't have a body. How do you know? You don't know nothing. You see him on camera, you don't see him. I mean, you're just assuming he fell in the river? No. No. I don't buy it. Okay. Let me tell you what's coming up. I am working on, I hope I can get this guy for an interview. I'm working on something that is Indiana/Delphi kind of going to do a live sometime this week on wrongful convictions in Indiana. Man, the cases. Wow. I'm also trying to get Brain Bungle to come back with me on Thursday. If y'all love Brain Bungle, let him know. We had a big time, didn't we? If y'all were in that one last Thursday night, I'm gonna talk him into trying to make Thursday nights a thing, so we can talk about something and let the ideas go wild. We had so much fun. I think the people who were in chat had fun as well. Starting to think Riley and Sebastian. Some people have said that. I really don't see how, unless it has to do with trafficking or that kind of something in that. Yeah, so, yeah, okay, yeah. I'm gonna have to show him. that y'all loved the show. Yeah, we're gonna try to do that. He gave me a maybe today, so I think he enjoyed it more than he says. All right, so there is some Indiana stuff coming up, and there's that, and if there are any new developments that I know about in Riley Strain, Matthew Parasini, if he's found or whatever, I will update you with that. All right, yeah. Thank y'all for hanging out with me so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to go take some medicine, lay down, and try to make the madness in my head stop. I appreciate you so much. Stay safe, and whatever you do, just stay silky. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.